employees at the shelter are not animal lovers, then they truly need to find another job. I don't know that they're not. I just felt like I needed to say that. If you don't have a passion for animals, you need to find another job, period.
The Rockwall City Council met this evening at City Hall in Rockwall to discuss and consider a pet euthanasia policy at the animal shelter. Before a packed house, the council decided that there were so many issues to consider that they would table the discussion for another 60 days. We're going to talk next with Mike Kitkoski of Rockwall Pets about how he feels about this decision this evening. Mike, tell me what's going on tonight. The City Council is considering a euthanasia policy for the animal center. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Right. We're moving toward essentially a no-kill policy. The council set a goal, I guess it was about a month ago, to mandate 90% live outcomes. That means we have to save at least 90% or more of all the pets that come into the shelter every month. The council now the euthanasia protocol is just essentially deciding how they do that. It's like a nuts and bolts protocol.
Tonight, I walked in a little late, but I heard them talking about something that happened recently. Was there some incident that brought this all up tonight?
Well, yes, there was quite a serious incident. If you don't mind the long story, one of our volunteers...
Try to summarize.
Okay, well, essentially, a dog about a month ago, one of our volunteers reported that had a nasal discharge. Over several weeks, we reported more and more and more, and even Rockwall Pets offered to pay for those dogs to take them to the vet and have it diagnosed. Apparently nothing was done, so by last Thursday, the whole infection had spread out of control. The shelter went into complete lockdown mode. All adoptions were suspended and will be suspended for as much as 2 weeks, and so it obviously was a disaster.
And as I said,
all right, now, Mike, you're with Rockwall Pets. How do you feel about the council's decision tonight to table this euthanasia policy motion for another 60 days? What's that mean?
I think it's the most prudent thing they could have done. Obviously, based on the disaster that happened at the shelter last week, there are bigger problems. And to get one small tool in place, like the euthanasia protocol, I don't think we're ready for that yet. We have bigger problems that need to be addressed before we get to that smaller protocol.
Okay, so at this point then, what do you think the main decision that the council has to make is? They seem to be supportive of your position.
I frankly hope so. I think they're correct, too, that there is a large chasm that's developed between staff and volunteers, and I think, like anything, the lack of communication, it's grown and grown and grown until it's really too wide, and so now the hard work begins to try to bring all that back together.
All right. Now, am I correct that your position is that you would like, or the other animal advocates here in town would like, a 97% no-kill shelter?
Oh, well, our goal is to
100%?
Yeah, our goal is to save every animal we possibly can. And granted, we know we can't save like deathly ill animals or animals that are extremely aggressive. I think some of the disconnect here is, like the city manager keeps saying, city council mandated or set a goal for 90% or better live outcomes. That is the definition of no kill. It was set a decade ago.
90% is the definition
yes,
of no kill.
because you're basically the no-kill movement, if you want to call it that, or the shelter industry as a whole, understands you have an allowance of up to 10% for deathly ill animals and animals that are extremely aggressive, that are essentially a public health hazard.
Mm-hmm. Well, just briefly then, what is Rockwall Pets, since you represent them?
We started basically as shelter volunteers, and we do off-site adoptions, but as the need grew, staff wasn't doing quite enough, we thought, so we became a nonprofit organization. We incorporated, and so we're able to take donations, and now we help fund the treatment of healthy animals. We get animals behavioral training and things like that to make more animals adopted.
And about how many animals, I guess dogs and cats we're talking about primarily?
Right, oh yes.
About how many dogs and cats are there at the shelter at any one given time?
Oh, it's hard to say as it depends on the time of year, but it could be as low as 30 or 40, or it could be as high as 75. Granted, that exceeds shelter capacity, but now we have foster homes and other businesses that take these pets in, so we've essentially virtually expanded the capacity of our shelter at no cost to the taxpayers of Rockwall.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you, JJ. Appreciate it.
And this is JJ Smith at City Hall in Rockwall for the RockwallNews.com.